Hello student. Today I shall discuss about stress and strain. Now, in continuum mechanics, stress is a physical quantity that expresses the internal forces that neighboring particles of a continuous material exert on each other, while strain is the measure of the deformation of the material. That means stress is equal to resistive force divided by cross sectional area, and strain is equal to change in dimension divided by original dimension. In case of length, it is final length minus initial length divided by initial length, that is del L divided by L. This is original and this is change in length. Now, according to Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional to strain up to elastic limit, and so sigma is proportional to epsilon, or sigma is equal to E into epsilon, where E is equal to modulus of elasticity. Now, this is a stress strain curve for a ductile material like mild steel. Along y-axis this is stress and along x-axis strain, and here we see that initially this line is quite straight, then it bends, and finally it rises, and here the stress level is maximum, and at the end point that is fracture. Now the first point, it is called proportional limit, second point elastic limit, and here we can write it as upper yield point and lower yield point, or in general we can say it as yield point, and this point is ultimate strength or ultimate point, and this is normal breaking point or fracture point. Now when we apply load on a specimen, tensile load on the specimen, then there will be elongation of the material. Now initially when elongation of the material increases, then the value of stress as well as strain both are increases, and stress is directly proportional to strain up to this elastic limit. This is theoretical approach. According to Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional to strain up to this elastic limit. But practically, stress is directly proportional to strain up to this proportional limit. So this is practical approach. So practically, up to proportional limit, stress is directly proportional to strain, but according to Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional to strain up to elastic limit. Now, if we remove force in between any point of this elastic limit, then the material will regain its original position. That means the length of the material will reduce, and finally it will gain its original shape and size. But if load is beyond this limit, then there will be permanent deformation of the material. Now we see that after upper yield point, the stress value reduces though strain value increases. Now from here the material becomes strain hardened, and again when strain increases, stress increases. So up to ultimate point, the value will be in increasing mode both for stress as well as strain. Now from this stress strain curve, the maximum stress level is called ultimate stress or ultimate strain. Now after that, neck formation occurs inside the sample, and suddenly the cross sectional area of the specimen at a certain point will reduce. Now finally, after some time there will be fracture, and here this normal breaking stress is less than ultimate stress, and this is because we consider initial cross sectional area for this stress strain plot, and this is called engineering stress versus engineering strain plot. Now if we consider instantaneous cross sectional area, then this line will go in upward direction, and the stress strain curve will be called as true stress versus true strain curve. Now for brittle material, instead of this much of elongation, the material will fail after a small amount of elongation. So there will be a straight line and suddenly there will be fracture. So we will not get such type of strain value, and maximum elongation for brittle material will be 5%. Whether in case of ductile material, the elongation of the material before fracture will be more than 5%. Now, if we consider the initial straight portion from the slope, we can get modulus of elasticity. Here the slope, that is stress divided by strain, this slope is modulus of elasticity. Now, when this type of curve, we get this type of curve from experiment, then from bottom part we get second modulus, and for this upper portion tangent will be in this direction and we will get tangent modulus. So there will be two types of modulus of elasticity. One is second modulus of elasticity, another is tangent modulus of elasticity. Now for most typical metals, the magnitude of modulus ranges between 45 GPa, that is 6.5 into 10 to the power 6 psi for magnesium, and 407 GPa, that is 59 into 10 to the power 6 psi for tungsten. So modulus of elasticity for magnesium is much lesser compared to tungsten. For mild steel, the value is around 2.1 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per millimeter square. Now this is a stress strain diagram for engineering stress strain as well as true stress strain. This one is for typical engineering stress strain diagram, and this one for true stress strain diagram, where instead of initial cross sectional area we have to consider instantaneous cross sectional area. That means stress will be F divided by original cross sectional area for engineering stress, and for true stress it will be sigma is equal to F divided by AI, that is instantaneous cross sectional area. Now the definition of true stress is, it is defined as the load divided by the instantaneous cross sectional area AI over which deformation is occurring. So sigma T is equal to F by AI, and in case of true strain, the rate of instantaneous increase in the instantaneous gauge length, that means epsilon T is equal to ln Li to L0. And relationship between true and engineering stress strain is sigma T, that means true stress is equal to engineering stress into 1 plus epsilon, that is engineering strain, whether true strain is equal to ln 1 plus true engineering strain. So practically true stress strain's value is higher than engineering stress strain as we consider instantaneous cross sectional area and instantaneous lengths. So thank you for patient sharing.